Of the Senior Hurling Championship. It all started on Friday evening. It'll all end on a Sunday evening, and then we'll go right through the tables as well and see where we are. But right now here in Park Isog, it's Éire against the Clooney Quin here, and again, once again, a crucial game here in their group, no question about that. And again, so many things to look forward to. Kilmaley versus Scariff over in Tulla. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Both sides dimmering up right down below us. The high flying Clooney Quin men down to our right, and Éire who need to take something from this game to keep their championship hope still alive. Before I bring in Sean, let me give it a line out of both sides. First of all, the men from Éire. In goal is Philly Walsh. A full back line of Jarlath Collins, Kieran Russell at 3, and wearing number 22 is Mikey Maloney. Half back line, Niall McMahon, Aaron Fitzgerald and Liam Curry, while David Reedy and Cian O'Dea in the middle of the field. David McNamara, Shane O'Donnell and Oran Cahill in the half forward line. Top of the right is Gavin Cooney, full forward is Danny Russell, and top of the left is where number 15 is Darren O'Brien. Clooney Quin in goal is Keith Hogan. Full back line, Evan Maxted, Shane McNamara at full back, and Owen Gilfile at 4. A half back line of Mike McNamara, John Keneally at centre half back, and Conor Grogan at 7. Ryan Taylor and Donna O'Sullivan in the middle of the field. Half forward line of Derek Hugh. Centre half forward is Peter Duggan with Callum Hassett at 12. Top of the right wearing 17 is Ulrich O'Sullivan. Full forward is Owen O'Brien, and top of the left wearing 15 is Shane Harrison. Well, joining me on analysis this afternoon, well, he was Clare minor manager for 2 years. He was Clare 20 manager for 3 years. He's the current manager, of course, of Bodyke as well. Huge experience coming to the table, and a welcome to Sean Doyle. Sean, welcome here. You'll be very familiar with a lot of these players, having that much experience behind you at inter-county level.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting match. Great evening for hurling here as well, but a lot will depend on the big names. 6, 8 and 11 for Éire, Fitzgerald, Reedy and O'Donnell, and 6, 8 and 11 for Clooney Quin, 6, 8 Peter Duggan, Ryan Taylor and John Keneally. Look, Éire, it's their last chance. They have a lot of Matt Shannon has been with this team now for a few years. He was very unlucky last year after beating the Bridge in the quarter final, and then probably went out tamely to Éire Kilnamona. But look, they're limbering up well, and they're really looking forward to the challenge. Looking to the Clooney team here now, down on my right, you'll be saying, geez, Clooney have really surprised everyone this year. But them 3 big guns, 6, 8 and 11, are really playing well and looking forward to the game.
Absolutely. We'll talk about 6, 8. We'll say we know Ryan Taylor, we know Peter Duggan. John Keneally has been absolutely superb for Clooney Quin. We saw him in the Clare 20s as well. So one of those players, a hugely emerging player, really leaving his mark in this senior championship campaign so far.
Yeah, John Keneally is really picking up a lot of ball, but I think Derek Hugh at 10 comes back and he helps him a lot as well, and he plays around there as well. It'll be interesting to see what to do. But they have the ever reliable Shane McNamara fullback, who has been very consistent for Clooney Quin over the years, and will take a lot of beating here tonight. Absolutely.
Go back to Éire. Well, now the way things are at the moment, they won't be able to keep an eye on Tulla. We will, but at the moment they're second in the table, but that'll all depend on Kilmaley taking on Scariff as well. But as I said, we'll go through that later on. But they must get something out of this game to have control of where they are in the senior championship. And as you said, so promising over the last number of years. This is a huge game for them, especially after losing the first game to Kilmaley. Huge players. We saw the Shane O'Donnell show the last day in O'Garney Park. He was absolutely outstanding the last day. How will Clooney Quin approach this to keep an eye on him and the best they can do with the likes of Shane O'Donnell on form?
Well, big John Keneally is probably the man that will be marking him, but look, you'll have to see after the first 5 or 6 minutes which way Shane O'Donnell will he stay at 11. But he seems to be really relishing it in the half forward, and even for county now this year he was superb out there. And just as you were saying it there, I was coming up along the road and coming in by Tulla, and the crowds going into Tulla was massive there coming up along, so there'll be a great match in Tulla there as well this evening.
Absolutely. Well, as you said, Shane O'Donnell ended up in the full forward line the last day. Danny Russell, another man up front. Gavin Cooney covered a serious amount of ground the last day. Tremendous workers in the likes of Darren O'Brien and David McNamara as well, not to talk of David Reedy and Cian O'Dea in the middle of the field, and that's only from number 8 to 15 as well, Sean. So they have huge players out there on both sides, and I suppose as we've seen over the weekend, when your big players come to the fore, they do really make things that little bit handier.
Yes, 100%.
look for the perfect evening for hurling when it's right here in Cusack Park right now as Joe Mullins is right down here. Right on the just coming back over here to the sideline. Lanford from Clare, he'll be officiating this afternoon. There's a little breeze blowing, seems to be blowing down towards the town goal here, and as I said, perfect conditions here. Tommy Corbett coming off the field here on the right hand side, the Benish door for Éire, and down here to our left hand side, of course, Matty Shannon or Tommy Corbett from Éire, but of course the Clooney Quin manager back up to our left, Matty Shannon there as well. Joe Mullins getting ready for action, asking the players to move back into the middle of the field. Cian O'Dea and David Reedy out there in the middle of the field, and Donald Sullivan and the hugely impressive Ryan Taylor. What a fantastic season he's had in the saffron and blue and in the green and red of Clooney Quin. The game's up and running, and the first man onto the ball was Ryan Taylor, but now it breaks to David Reedy on the attack. Up to Shane O'Donnell. Shane O'Donnell turning around here, looking for trying to go through the centre. Now he's on through, takes the shot right in, and they get taken off the line aside by Keith Hogan. Shane O'Donnell in the opening seconds of this game had an opportunity, and Keith Hogan keeping an eye on it, Sean, and just keeping it out, and that's the appetite that we will see from the likes of Éire and Clooney Quin going for the big score even as early as the opening seconds of this game.
Yeah, David really picked up a great ball, and he looked for that man inside straight away, and O'Donnell came out at speed, took his man on, and you can see what they're at this evening. They're going for the green ones as well.
It's Danny Russell standing over this 65, practically dead straight in front of the goal, striking into the old scoreboard into here. We'll be keeping a very close eye on Kilmaley and Scariff as well. Derek will be keeping an eye on that, and it's Danny Russell at the moment about to strike this one from the 65. It looks good from here. Let's see what's going to happen inside. It goes to the right of the goal and it goes wide. So Keith Hogan with the hurley up to his eyes here as the sun is blazing in on top of him, shining in from the town goal in. Long ball out to this side of the field. Once again that break ball, trying to get it away. Coming out there is Kieran Russell, again very close to the line. Ball just about staying in play. Kieran is still out there, ball going out over the line, and Jim Hickey has decided it's going in the Éire direction, and again to take it fast. Peter Duggan was back there as well. Everybody moving away here. It's going to be a line ball that will eventually be taken right down here in front of us, and it will be David Reedy that'll take it. Everybody getting to just settled into the game. It's going to be placed now. He's just inside. He's about halfway. He's a little bit more than halfway between the 45 and his own 65 as well, about lining up to take this one. Facing up to right down in front of us is David McNamara. Right behind him, of course, is Mike McNamara. Don't think they're related, and they won't be for the next 60 minutes anyway. It's going to be a long ball chip well in over the shoulder, right down to the corner. Daniel Russell running onto it, can't keep it, playing the ball going out over the line. Down here to our right hand side is going to be a line ball for Owen Guilfoyle and for Clooney Quin. Back here to our right hand side, facing up to this John Keneally. Right behind him is Daniel Russell. Ball coming up the line. I haven't seen that happen for quite some time, Sean, and two line balls going over the line in the space of 60 seconds.
Yeah, things have settled down now. It looks like Kieran Russell is going to shadow Peter Duggan around the field here today in front of us, and that's one of the big moves at the moment. And Niall Boots has gone back cornerback at the moment, and Mike Maloney's gone wing forward.
Now Daniel Russell with this line ball, he's a long way out. He's outside the 45 metre line, but if he goes for it, he's a really good band of the ball, gets it into the wide open space. Wanting to come onto his Mikey Maloney, coming onto that one, getting it into his hands out there ahead of Conor Grogan, trying to get room to strike it, gets it back into the centre, back to Cian O'Dea. Cian O'Dea has a strike from out the field, and Cian O'Dea sends the ball over the bar. The opening score of the game with 3 minutes on the clock. Great work from Mikey Maloney, 22 on his back. Cian O'Dea, the man that finished it, and it's Éire going to an early lead here, 1 point to no score with 3 minutes gone, Sean.
Yes, and Cian O'Dea is picking up Ryan Taylor. I'd say he's going to shadow him for the game as well.
Again, long ball, Clooney on the attack out to the far side, as Sean was saying. Kieran Russell is being picked very close to Peter Duggan. This from way out the field once again, that ball going in. Again, the umpire's looking as the ball goes right across the goal, and it goes wide, and that of course coming from the stick of Ulick O'Sullivan on the far side of the field. Once again, the ball breaking out to the centre, and it comes right into the hands out there of Warden Cahill. Long ball into the space it goes, but again keeping a very close eye on it is Derek Yo, and the ball going out over the inline down here to our right hand side. I know we're only 3 or 4 minutes into it, but so cagey from both sides.
Yes.
Ball dropping into the centre, ball breaking out to David McNamara, coming onto this one, releases the ball back out to the far side to Niall McMahon, driving the ball into the centre. Shane O'Donnell again, the sun in his eyes as he looks around here, trying to get room to swing it. Now he says to keep going. Now he takes it off the stick, and now he sends it over the bar. Absolutely razor sharp as usual from Shane O'Donnell. It's 2 points to no score. Éire lead by 2.
Yeah, it was an excellent score again by O'Donnell. There was a great pass into him, and the sun was in his eyes, and he took it in his hand and straight over the bar.
Keith Hogan once again getting ready for the puck out. Your commentary compliments of Liam O'Doherty Builders here in Ennis, the busy Liam O'Doherty Builders here in Ennis. Delighted that could join us live on commentary once again this year in round 4 of the Senior Hurling Championship. Busy back there is Niall McMahon coming out of it, down along to the field. Ryan Taylor hurley falling out of his hand, challenge back down there. Conor Grogan trying to keep an eye on it on the far side of the field. Now coming back once again, Éire trying to build from deep inside their own half. Oran Cahill with the ball back out to David McNamara. David McNamara decides to go long. Dangerous ball once again dropping down between. Out to go for Shane McNamara and Shane O'Donnell, and this the other Shane McNamara. Shane from Clooney Quin is the man running onto this ball, wins it, drives the ball up along the line on the far side of the field. It's going to go to Ryan Taylor, keeps the ball in play, and Quin right on his shoulder, but the ball comes off his hand out over the line. Line ball it is taken fast across to the far side of the field, and again Joe Mullins deciding that the ball was actually moving on the far side. And at the moment, just around that half back line at the moment, they're just trying to get a grip on it so far. Sean is setting up those attacks.
Éire are really playing well in the backs, and Keane O'Dea, Shane Taylor is a fast player, but Keane O'Dea will keep with him for the game.
But I've seen Shane O'Dea, Keane O'Dea with the Clare footballers for so many years. He's absolutely every bit as lively as Ryan Taylor, so we'll keep a very close eye on that one. And again, the ball coming out to Mikey Maloney, dropping right into the zone. Up goes Denny Russell again. He's been held, says the referee, and Owen Gilfoyle is the man that's been penalised. Not quite sure how much more he could do with that, but anyway, it's going to be a free in, and it's going to be Denny Russell to take it.
And Mike Maloney has started very impressive for Éire. He's got 4 possessions there, and he's making great moves down that left wing.
It's going to be Denny Russell. We will go to Dr. Daly Park just after this, just to see where things are in relation to Kilmaley and Scariff, and at the moment it's 2 points to no score here. You could nearly take it that it's going to be possibly 3 from the stick of Denny Russell. We'll be going to Derry very, very shortly just after this and see how things are as the ball goes in, and the ball going straight over the bar once again. 3 points to no score here. It's Éire that lead. What's the early passage of play like in Dr. Daly Park? Over to you, Derek.
It's incredible stuff, Sil. Just 5 minutes on the clock. The sides are level at 3 points apiece. Very quick start for Scariff. 2 points for Mark Rogers, one with a free from his own 65 metre line. That was answered by a Sean O'Loughlin effort before Shane Kavanagh drove over from his own 65 for Scariff to lead them 3 points to 1 in front, with coming up on 4 minutes gone. Then Mikey O'Neill and Aidan McGuan with 2 points inside 25 seconds for Kilmaley, who have also had a wide ball there just a couple of moments ago from Dara Keane. Let's just stay with the play for the minute, because Gerard O'Grady has stolen inside. He's been pulled back for a free. Chance for them to take the lead. 6 minutes gone, 6 scores on the board. It's tied so far. It's tense in Dr. Daly Park, Sil.
Absolutely. Well, there's 7 minutes gone here, and there's 4 scores on the board, because Callum Haston has just popped one over for the Clooney Quin men. It's Éire that lead 3 points to 1 here, and 7.5 minutes gone, and Joe Mullins going back to the umpire on the far side, maybe having a word with 1 or 2 players, Sean, on the far side of the field.
Yeah, and whatever happened over there, something happened anyway, and it looks like he's going over to Liam Corrie to have a quick word with him. But that was a great move by Clooney Quin up the field, and Callum Hassett took that ball and put a great score over the bar. Clooney Quin are starting to get into the game now. Again,
Liam Corrie just been spoken to by Joe Mullins. He's all on his own on the far side of the field, and Philly Walsh is in the goal waiting for the instructions from the referee, Joe Mullins. The sun is taking a break here, and now it's Liam Corrie is the man that gets the ball almost into his hand. He does on the second occasion, racing out with Adam Fitzgerald on his shoulder, gets it across to this side of the field. Charlotte Collins, but the ball going astray, and again diving in there was Niall McMahon. Now it breaks to Kieran Russell. Kieran getting the ball into his hand, turning back here, looking for support. Again, just coming off the hand. Great work, great run by Charlotte Collins, but again trying to get his hand on that. Peter Duggan trying to come away, has the ball, again driving it, releases the ball out to Callum Haston at this side of the field, but Kieran Russell is back there. The referee calls the play back. It's going to be a free in for Clooney Quin. just inside the 65 metre line here, and it's most likely going to be Peter Duggan that'll stand over this one. The man that was fouled running up along the line on the far side of the field was Callum Hester, but it's going to come back to Peter Duggan right now here, just inside the 65 metre line, about 4 or 5 metres in, with his back to the stand here, striking into the town goal here in Cusick Park. It's the Rogue leading 3 points to 1 here, 9 minutes gone. Let's keep an eye on this one. We might be able to tell you before the umpires, depending on the angle of this one, as he strikes this one in, we can tell you just about that the ball will go inside the post and going over the bar. It's 3 points for a Rogue, 2 for Clooney Quin. 9 minutes gone, Sean.
Yeah, great, good score by Dohan. It was a good free and he won it himself.
Again, puck out, he's long up to this, pops out of the hands of out to the far side of David McNamara, comes out across to Donna Sullivan trying to get through. Now it comes back out to Ryan Taylor being blocked down, and attempted block down by Keane O'Dea. Hurling went out of his hand, facing his own goal as Liam Curry, but he's only guiding the ball out over the line down here to our left hand side. 3 points to 2. A Rogue at the moment leading by that single point. The fast puck out to Aaron Fitzgerald. Aaron driving up the middle of the field, chased out there by Ulrich Sullivan, releasing the ball over to the far side of the field, still trying to come away. It's a great work out there by Oran Cahill. Into the centre goes Shane O'Donnell is on again. He's dancing left and right, and again he's been fouled, so they're a free, and it's going to be a free in here just on the 20 metre line. Another opportunity for a Rogue with a good possibility of doubling the scores, and it's going to be Danny Russell. Really, you know, sometimes you know, Sean, you can look at a game like this. We knew the threat was going to come from Shane O'Donnell, and he's been very, very prominent, despite the fact that Shane McNamara is a very tight marker, has been for a long number of time. But the ball, I think the ball coming from the half-back line from a Rogue is creating the problems up front for Clooney Quin, because they're getting opportunities to place the ball. We'll stay with Danny Russell. He sends the ball straight over the bar, but again, that's something Clooney Quin need to look at, Sean.
Yeah, Clooney Quin at this side of the field, that they need to work harder, not let the ball come out as easy as it's coming.
Ball dropping up again. It's going to be Ryan Taylor getting into his hand, coming right across the field, going in the wrong direction from a Clooney Quin point of view. He's looking around here now. He has made room for himself, gets it back up to the centre, gets it up to John Keneally, and he takes off right through the centre. Will he get room to strike? He will. Has he the accuracy? He has. It's a superb score. Great, tremendous work from Ryan Taylor, just getting a grip on that, going back into his own defence, and that released John Keneally right up through the middle of the Rogue defence, sending it over the bar. It's 4-3. It's the Rogue leading by a single point with 11 minutes gone. Ball dropping into the middle of the field. Once again it comes to Peter Duggan. Kieran Russell on him at the moment, trying to get the ball away, and Peter strikes from way out. This would be surely one. That's an absolutely superb score from Peter Duggan. He was under pressure from Kieran Russell. He was in the middle of the field. He was almost on the sideline, and he sent it over the bar. The sides are level at 4 points apiece. It'll be difficult to see a better point than that this evening, even though we're only 12 minutes into the game.
Fantastic score, and John Keneally is really playing well at centre back. Gavin Cooney will have to tie him down a small bit more. He can't be letting him up the field and just picking out players, because Clooney are only playing 2 inside, so they're going to go for long range scores.
Conor Grogan was the man coming out with that particular ball. Again on the far side of the field, just waiting for it. It's going to be a line ball on the far side. Oran Cahill is placing the ball, just coming over, now moving away. It's going to be David Reedy that'll take it over, and he's tempted to drive the ball back into the corner. Goes a different direction, gets it out here to the middle of the field, out to Darren O'Brien. Darren O'Brien blocked down in the middle by Ryan Taylor. Now it comes to Callum Hassel. Clooney Quin on the attack, going to the ground, free in for Clooney Quin, right dead straight in front of the goal, just inside the 65 metre line, and another opportunity for Peter Duggan, and on this occasion to possibly give Clooney Quin the lead. Striking into it again, the sun, as I said, it was beaming down here at the start of the game, just taking the break right behind the clouds. Right now it's going to be a yellow card being dished out there to Aaron Fitzgerald, and it's going to be Peter Duggan that's lining up to take this free. At the moment 4 apiece on the board. There'll be 30 minutes on the clock by the time he strikes it. That's exactly what he does now. Sends it in, and again Clooney Quin going into the lead as Peter Duggan sends it over the bar. It's Clooney Quin 5. It's a Rogue 4. 13 minutes gone, Sean.
Yeah, and Clooney Quin have done a small bit of work here on the sideline. They've put a man in front of O'Donnell now and a man behind him. Again
out to the far side of the field, still trying to get away with it. Here Rogue defending, ball going to the centre, picked up by Derek Yo, trying to get away with it again, overholding the ball. Good work back there by Donald Sullivan as well, but penalised, and it's going to be a free, and it's going to be Daniel Russell that'll make the trek out just inside. Maybe David Reedy will take it. No, he's going to leave it for Daniel Russell. He's inside his own 65 metre line here. Peter Duggan walking away to the left hand side. Kieran Russell right on his shoulder, but it's all eyes on the man with 14 on his back. That's Daniel Russell, 2 so far. And again, distance, we'd always say very little problem to Daniel Russell, even from as far out as inside his own 65 metre line here. About to strike this one. Keith Hogan inside in the goal, and most of the players back at the other end of the field, putting the hurleys back up to the rise to shade it from the stone. Daniel Russell, it's a high ball from way out the field, and again there's very little doubt about it as the umpire's coming out to raise the white flag as Daniel Russell pops that one straight over the bar. It's 5 apiece in Cusack Park. We'll go to Dr. Daly Park just in the next break and play out to the far side. Ryan Taylor trying to get it into his hand. Keane O'Dea out there as well, but it's Ryan Taylor sailing across, bringing players into the game, strikes it off the stick from way out the field. Again, the ball going to the left of the goal and this going wide. Let's see how things are in Dr. Daly Park. And Tulla, 3 apiece the last time, Derek. Things now, what way to stand?
13 and a half minutes gone in the opening half, and it is Scariff leading Kilmaley by 6 points to 5. Just stay with me. Is that about to change? No, ball just dropping short there for the Kilmaley win. The teams still have been level on 3 different occasions inside the opening 13 minutes, including inside the opening 4 when they were level at those 3 points apiece. Since then, Rogers with a free, Mikey O'Neill with a point, that tied things up. Patrick Crotty and Tommy Barry swap scores to leave it 5 points apiece. Scott Cairns raiding from wing back to get the game's latest point. 6 points to 5. 14 minutes gone. There are tackles flying in everywhere. You can nearly feel the intensity in the park here that's being distributed outside around Dr. Daly Park. Incredible stuff, and there's going to be another scoring chance here for Scariff because they have a free on their own 65 metre line. When Mark Rogers is in your team, that's a scoring chance. They'll go 2 points clear with 14 and a half gone second half.
Absolutely.
First half, I should say.
First half, yeah. The thought you were racing ahead of yourself there for just a moment. 15 and a half gone in the park. Is deadlocked at 5 points apiece with a Rogue and Clooney Quin. Utica Sullivan on the ball, getting it back into the centre of the field. Back out to Donna O'Sullivan. He's racing through the centre. He has the free one. He's still going. See if it comes back. A ball is going to be called back here, and the referee Joe Mullins calling the play back is going to be Peter Duggan. That'll make the way on the far side of the field. Clooney Quin have settled down a little bit fast in the last couple of minutes, Sean.
Donna O'Sullivan's doing real work there in the middle of the field. He's working well, and that time there was only one inside, and he played a real good ball into that Ulick O'Sullivan, who looks lively as well inside.
It's going to be Peter Duggan just inside, just inside the 45 metre line, 3 or 4 metres in on the far side of the field, facing into the terracing stand, into the town goal here. Chips this one in, and the umpire racing out here, raising the white flag as you would expect from the stick of Peter Duggan, sending it over the bar. Clooney Quin going back into the lead. 16 and a half minutes gone here, and Clooney Quin, Gavin Cooney on the ball here, just coming into the action, whipping the ball out to the far side, out to Warren Cahill, trying to make room. He's racing right through the centre. He has a clean pair of heels. Will he get room to strike it? Now he looks for support, gets the ball back to the back, but a ball going astray. Conor Grogan almost having control of it. Clooney Quin trying to get their hands on it at the moment. Evan Maxted is back there, ball racing inside. Who will come out with this one? Mike McNamara is over there on the far side of the field. Darren O'Brien trying to get the ball into his hand for the Rogue, still coming away with it. A free. Joe Mullins has deemed it's going to be a free, and the free is going in the direction of Clooney Quin, and it's going to be Keith Hogan that'll come out to his own 20 metre line to strike this one. Your commentary compliments of Limo Doherty Builders here in Ennis as well. So it's going to be Barry Keating on the far side of the field, I think, is the man that's doing the line. It's going to be Keith Hogan about to take this one from deep inside his own 20 metre line and lofting this one. It's going to land on the 20 metre line at the other end of the field. Has the breaking ball up to go for it. Ball breaks into the centre, coming on, trying to get his hands on that one on the far side was Owen O'Brien. Couldn't get away with it. Now it's out to Shane Harrison. Will he get room to strike it? Shortens the grip on the stick, sends it in, but great work from Aaron Fitzgerald prevented him from popping that one straight over the bar. It's still 6-5. It's still Clooney Quin leading by a single point as the puck out comes, coming up to the 18th minute, and again his ball going out over the line, and it's nearer to Tommy Corbett than anybody else. It's going to be a line ball right down here, and it's going to go for John Keneally placing this ball, says Jim Hickey, right there on that spot. Now the centre half back again was about to take this one. Players moving back to his left and right, trying to get players to move back here to the centre, and again John Keneally, will he chip this one in over, drills the ball into the centre onto Callum Hassel, running onto this one, trying to get the ball in his hand. He does, lofting the ball out to the corner. He's giving a lot of work for Shane Harrison to do to get control of that one. Out there outside is Jarlath Collins again, and he's been pushing it back, and it's got to be a free out for a row right in the corner flag. 18 and a half minutes gone, Sean. 6 points to 5.
Clooney Quin's work rate seems to be really stepped up now, but that was a really silly free to give away inside in the corner. It just gives Éire to relieve the pressure. But look, they're really fighting, and Derek Hugh has gone back, as we said before the match, doing a lot of sweeping up there.
Long ball coming out from Jarlath Collins right into the middle of the field, up to go for it. Ball breaks out. David really trying to get his hands on it. He does, chips the ball into the centre. Daniel Russell coming out, right coming across at the far side, but there to tidy up is going to be Derek Yo. Has a bit of work to do. Does it perfectly. Back out to Mike Mack, and Mike from way out the field turns it, and now it goes right across to the far side of the field. Utica Sullivan coming out. If he can get this one out to the far side, ball goes to the ground, still holding on to it, still being challenged out there on the far side of the field, trying to get the ball back into his hand, but it comes back to this side of the field. It's picked up by Jarlath Collins. Jarlath Collins across to the far side. It's a long ball. Now it comes out to the middle of the field, out to Warren Cahill. Long ball right into the centre, but the ball bouncing out over the end line and bouncing wide. Back at the other end of the field, Sean, Utica Sullivan had a lot to do there. He had Aaron Fitz on him as well. Kieran Russell was back there, and Niall McMahon was back there as well, and had a lot of work to do, and almost got through for a Clooney Quin score.
And he's doing very, very well. He's causing real problems inside. He's got good pace, and he's causing problems inside for Niall McMahon.
Good work from Liam Curry. Back to out to the middle of the field, trying to get that ball away as Gavin Cooney sends the ball back, but it goes astray out to the far side of the field. Picked up outside by Owen O'Brien. It was brilliant the last day. Again, the ball going out to the far side, dropping in, but just when harmlessly bounces to the right of the goal, and it goes wide. 20 minutes gone here in the park. 6 points to 5. Clooney Quin leading by a single point. We'll go to Dr. Daly Park in the next minute or two as we look back to Philly Walsh back here to our left hand side, and he pucks this one out, trying to drill the ball down right in front of Owen Cahill. Up they go for Mikey out to the far side of the field. Mikey Maloney going out for that one. Ball breaks behind to Ryan Taylor. Ryan Taylor with a long lofted ball right into the edge of the square. Up they go for it. Ball breaks out to the far side. Callum Hassler coming out to this one. Will he get room to turn? Peter Duggan is there in support. Gets it out to the far side of the field. That's a brilliant ball out to Donald Sullivan. Back to Peter Duggan and sent it over the bar. Great vision from Donald Sullivan. It's 7 points to 5. A neat bit of play.
Yeah, the Clooney Quin are really playing well. They're only playing 3 up inside the 65, and they're coming at speed from the back.
Again, this long ball out to this side. Shane O'Donnell going up for it. Also Shane McNamara. Ball goes right behind them. Picked up by out to the middle of the field. Picked up by Derek Hugh. Long ball right into the middle of the field. It goes. Owen Cahill is out there, still trying to come away with it. Is Owen O'Brien popping the ball into his hand. He has the opportunity. He's a long way out. A long way out. How are you? Straight over the bar from the stick of Owen O'Brien. That's a superb score for Clooney Quin. They lead 8 points to 5, and really getting a real grip of the game, Sean.
He doesn't look like he's going at full speed at times, Owen O'Brien, but probably that was the score of the game so far.
Absolutely. 8-5 here in Cusick Park. Derek in Dr. Daly Park, the current standing.
Yeah, you talk about the score of the game here in the park. We've just said the score of the game in Dr. Daly Park, and it's a Garrod O'Grady goal for Kilmaley that sees them lead by 1-7 to 7 points with 20 minutes on the clock. Midway through the opening half, it was Scariff leading by 7 points to 5, but all that has been absolutely turned on its head. Outstanding scores from Darragh Keane and Mikey O'Malley to tie things up before Garrod O'Grady won his own ball inside, left the defender for dust and buried it beyond William Kavanagh, gave him no chance in the goal at the dressing room end of Dr. Daly Park. He was the one shining light for them in the defeat to Clooney Quin here a couple of weeks ago, and he's providing real leadership up front. We'll just stay with the play for the moment because Mikey O'Malley has a free for Kilmaley that could put them 4 points to the good. Let's see, can he do that? Wearing 22, the ball goes away to the left and wide. 1-7 Kilmaley, Scariff 7 points, still 21.5 played in the first half.
So interesting in the group so far. We'll look at that later on, but as I said, so much to play for in both games. It's going to be Peter Duggan standing over this one just outside the 45 metre line to the town goal. Clooney Quin 8 points, Éire 5 at the moment, 22.5 minutes gone. Comments or compliments of Liam O'Doherty builders in Ennis. Peter Duggan about to strike this one, and once again you could put your house on it as he sends it over the bar. That's his 6th of the evening here. 4 frees, 2 from play from the man wearing 11 on his back, Sean.
Yeah, and look at Éire trying to get the ball to Donald, but he's been really tied up at the moment, and they have 2 and they're working really well here up on this side of the field, Clooney Quin.
David Reedy letting the ball very cutely run past him here. Now he has a grip on it, has a shot from way out the field. It's dropping, it's going to be tidy, but it goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide. Again, looking down at the sideline down here on the far side, we'll go back to Tulla for a big score, possibly in Dr. Daly Park.
It is a big score. It's come the way of Scariff, and it's a Mark Rogers goal straight away to respond to Grado Grady. A defensive mix-up inside, left the ball bobbling around, and who else? Only Mark Rogers, just flicking the ball along the ground, the same as you'd roll a putt on a green in the golf course, rolled it into an empty net. Sides level once again, 22 minutes played, it's 1-7 apiece.
Absolutely, and I've little doubt he could do it in the East Clare Golf Club as well if he got the opportunity. A thriller in Tulla, Clooney Quin on double scores here at the moment in Cusack Park. They're leading 10 points to 5, Sean.
That was another great point from Callum Hassett. They're really working really hard. They're only playing so many inside, but out the field they're working really hard.
Again, Gavin Cooney trying to get his hands on the ball. He does and tries to set up the attack. Down it goes to Daniel Russell right in the corner, waiting for it, gets it into his hands. Now turns back onto his left side, strikes this one in, and a typical Daniel Russell point, sending it straight over the bar. That's his fourth of the evening here as he sends it over the bar. There was a great break and play right at the back there, and Éire needing every score possible at 10 points to 6. 24 and a half minutes gone.
Good score by Danny. I see that O'Donnell moved out to the wing now, so hopefully he might get more freedom there.
Long ball dropping into the centre. Peter Duggan is under this one, so is Kieran Russell coming away with the ball, trying to get away with Niall McMahon. Back into the centre again on the attack. Again Liam Curry whipping out without the Gavin Cooney again trying to take on, putting the ball on the stick. He's being chased up along the line here, and chased he is by Owen File, whipping it into the centre. Shane O'Donnell trying to get inside. John Keneally still going right through the centre, still holding on to this one, and again gets enough room to send the ball in and send it over the bar. He had the advantage of the free, he kept going, sent it over. It's now 10 points to 7. You can feel an urgency coming into this. I mean, there's 5 minutes to go to half time, but something tells me we could have a very exciting second half. The last time I said that, it was as one-sided as you ever saw, but there's so much for Éire to play in on to get something out of this game. They have to get something out of it, and most likely looking like they have to get a win.
It's a good decent game now. Keith Hogan, it was a good puck out and they missed it here in the middle of the field. Donogh Sullivan, that can't happen either. And
the ball just going to the right of the goal, and it's going wide once again off the stick of Daniel Russell. 10-7 it is, 25 and a half minutes gone. Keith Hogan getting ready for the puck out down to our right hand side. Again coming up with this one, a ball coming out to this side, again trying to keep a ball going straight out over the line. The nearest man to that was Gordon Cahill. It's going to be an Éire ball right down here in front of us, and it's going to be placed. Niall McMahon lining up to take this one right in front of Kieran Russell, and Peter Duggan moving back from that as well. Is David Reedy out in the middle of the field. Donogh Sullivan as well. It's going to be a line ball. He's taken out this side. It's Jarlath Collins, the man that took that one right on the sideline. Kieran Russell taking the shoulder, staying in play, again holding onto the ball on the ground, trying to move the ball away. David Reedy goes in, comes out with the ball, opening up and to get through. John Keneally right on the shoulder, again delivering the ball right into Shane O'Donnell and Shane McNamara. It breaks out to Shane O'Donnell. He's trying to go through the centre, puts the hand up, shortens the grip on the stick, and that one goes to the left of the goal and wide, but it's going to be a free in once again for Daniel Russell and for Éire.
I think Joe was a bit lenient on some of the Clooney Queen, because that must be the third or fourth time now that Shane O'Donnell has been fouled, so I'd say a card wouldn't be far off the mark at this stage.
We'll keep an eye on it. At the moment it's all eyes on Daniel Russell on the 20 metre line. 10-7 on the scoreboard, 27 minutes on the clock. Daniel Russell surely will put 2 between them here as Joe Mullins waiting to move back here, and only Keith Hogan is inside in the goal all on his own, even though Daniel Russell is about 23 metres out. He'll send this one straight in and sends it over the bar. It's back to 2 in Cusack Park, as we said, heating up for a second half. I would imagine that'll be much more exciting when the stakes become a little bit higher, Sean.
Yeah, Éire need Reedy on the ball more. He's not as influential there, but when he gets the ball he always chooses the right pass. His decision making is very good.
Again, you can see again coming out, Joe Mullins coming back out into the middle of the field. Ryan Taylor and Cian O'Neill having a battle out there. Donogh Sullivan and David Reedy as well, and that's all happening in the middle of the field. Joe Mullins now blowing the whistle for Keith Hogan to take this ball from the puck out. It's a high ball right down the centre. Peter Duggan, Kieran Russell going on for that one. Ball breaks out to the far side of the field. She's trying to get away with it right into the hand. Shane Harrison is trying to dig it out. Owen O'Brien is out there as well, and again the referee is indicating play on. It comes out to Aaron Fitzgerald Aaron Fitzgerald coming out, takes the shoulder out there in the middle of the field from Ryan Taylor. Looking around here, referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free for Éire Óg, and now he's moving the play up here, and again it's just inside the 65-metre line, and again there's a gathering of players outside in the middle of the field at the moment, and we thought this was going, we waited, Sean, for for the tempo of this game to pick up, and they were coming up to half time right now, and it's just beginning to start.
Yeah, that's only handbags anyway, but Donal O'Sullivan there, like, when a man is about to take a free, you can't win in blocking, so Joe was bringing it up to 10 yards, so I still think to be an Éire Óg free, but you have to have a bit of that in the game too. It gets the blood going.
But on and off the field, let me tell you, Joe Mullins is out there on the far side waiting for one of the looks like, I think it's possibly one of the Clooney Quin players just receiving treatment. Donal O'Sullivan. We'll go to Dr. Daly Park just for while we have a break and play here for to Derek.
There's 28 minutes gone here in the opening half, and it's level for the 6th time in the contest at 1-9 apiece. This is an enthralling battle between two sides who are absolutely leaving everything out there. Some outstanding performances. Sean O'Loughlin having a real influence for Kilmaley, but that Scariff half-back line have now contributed 3 points of their tally from that 1-9, but it's all about Mark Rogers. He's got 1-4 on the board so far, and that's about to become 1-5. He has a free here on the 21-metre line. Kilmaley had a huge goal opportunity just after Mark Rogers had got his goal. Derek Keane with a brilliant catch from the puck out. The returning Aaron Maloney was next man up. He offloaded to Mikey O'Neill, and 1-on-1 with the onrushing William Kavanagh. Kavanagh spread himself brilliantly. Ball broke out and Sean O'Loughlin popped it over the bar. Since then, Tomás McNamara and Shane Kavanagh added scores. It's Mikey O'Malley with a free, and just as I speak now, Mark Rogers has popped over that. So it's 1-10 to Scariff, 1-9 for Kilmaley. A minute plus additional time to go to the break, but judging by the pace of the game out in Dr. Daly Park, I don't think anybody wants half time to come still.
Absolutely. Well, it was very close to half time here as well. It's Clooney Quin leading 10 points to 8, 30 minutes on the clock. I didn't see the additional time. Jim Hickey is coming across here right now, so he possibly may give us an indication now. It doesn't have to. It's 2 minutes of additional time here in Cusick Park, and again we're well into that now. We're 20 seconds into that now. There's still a hold up and play. Donal O'Sullivan is having a word, and he's picking up a yellow card as well. He's the man that was injured, Sean, and he picked up a yellow card for his troubles.
As I said, he went in to block the free that time, and I still think Éire Óg, but he will get the free. Just going on that Scariff Kilmaley game still, it was great to see Gerard O'Grady, a promising young player, back in the action and showing the promise. He was injured there for a couple of years.
Absolutely fantastic, there's no question about it. Seeing a lot of talent, young talent coming right through in all the games so far, and right now not a young talent but a huge talent in Danny Russell lining up to take this one about a metre outside his own 65-metre line, dead straight in front of the goal, but it's a long way at the other end of the field. It's Jarlath Donlan, that's the linesman on the far side and of the field, but it's lining up. Danny Russell again looking at the post right down here to our right hand side. Keith Hogan standing right between them. It's a long ball. It's probably going to go to the left, and it goes wide to the cheer of the Clooney Quin men. After all the gathering, it still stands at 10 points to 8. 31 and a half minutes gone, 2 minutes of additional time, and it looks like 30 seconds of play here as Keith Hogan with the puck out down the centre, out to John Keneally. John Keneally had a bit of work to do the first time, the second time. Now it breaks out to David McNamara, and Davy Mack from out the field sends it, but it's going to bounce right in front of Keith Hogan. He has all the time in the world to look up, but he does that, and a long ball, but again Aaron Fitzgerald, the huge experienced man at centre half-back, just read it like a book out to David Reedy. David Reedy looks around here, shortens the grip on the stick, looking for Shane O'Donnell. Up he goes for Shane O'Donnell, out to Danny Russell. Danny Russell for the Keith Hogan taking the ball right off the line. Now it comes back out to this side, out to Shane O'Donnell. Will he get room to strike it? He will. He sends the ball in, and once again Shane O'Donnell sending the ball straight over the bar. Once again there's one between them, and half time is only seconds away here as again the ball coming out to the far side of the field, trying to get that ball away, and again still trying to win it. Again coming away to this side of the field, Keith Hogan back, and Joe Mullins, all eyes on Joe Mullins at the moment. He's down in the middle of the field. Again he looks like a man that's looking for the ball, and that's exactly what he's doing here in the middle of the field. It's half time here in Cusick Park. It's Clooney Quin 10 points, it's Éire Óg 9. We'll go to Tulla first before we have a chat with Sean here on happenings here in Parkis Hogue, Derek.
Yeah, 1-10 apiece in Dr. Daly Park. They're in injury time there, so we'll just stay with the play for the last couple of of moments. Patrick Crotty is picking up the ball on the far side of the field, having his shot down towards the country end, or the O'Callaghan's Mills end. Now the half-time whistle has just been blown. It was Chris Maguire is the match official. It's 1-10 apiece after those 2 minutes of additional time in an incredible game. Sides have been level on 7 different occasions. Mark Rogers and Mikey O'Neill trading scores in the last couple of moments there. Mikey O'Neill, the Kilmaley captain, he's got 3 points from play. Sean O'Loughlin is, as I said, really on form. He's got 2. Dara Keane is on the board as well. They've got points from Aidan McGuan and Tommy Barry from around the middle third, and that goal from Garrod O'Grady, along with 2 frees from Mikey O'Malley. As I said before, 3 Ascaris frees are points coming from the half back line. Scott Cairns with 1, Shane Kavanagh with 2. They've got a point from the middle of the park by Tomas McNamara, 1-4 for Mark Rogers, and a point as well for Patrick Crotty. It's just incredible stuff. And if we try still perhaps to maybe do a bit of a as things stand at half time, Clooney Quin obviously would move on to 6 points. Kilmaley would stay on, they'd move to 3 points. Éire would obviously stay on 2, so that would send Clooney Quin and Kilmaley through, and it would leave Éire in 3rd spot and Scariff into the relegation battle. So that's our attempt at the amateur maths here at half time to see how things stand. But it's incredible stuff out in Tulla, a really, really high quality game, and as I said, a great spread of scorers for both sides, a real old battle going on. So this one going right down to the wire, you get the feeling.
Well, that's the way it stands at the moment. There's a long way to go in both venues. We'll get all the action. Do join us again very shortly for much more chat just after these. The post and going over the bar. I think the ball coming from the half-back line from Éire is creating the problems up front for Clooney Quin, because they're getting opportunities to place the ball. We'll stay with Denny Russell. He sends the ball straight over the room for himself, gets it back up to the centre, gets it up to John Keneally, and he takes off right through the centre. Will he get room to strike? He will. Has he the accuracy? He has on. It's a superb score. Once again it comes to Peter Duggan. Kieran Russell on him at the moment, trying to get the ball away, and Peter strikes from way out. This would be surely one. That's an absolutely... It's lining up to take this free at the moment. 4 apiece on the board. There'll be 30 minutes on the clock by the time he strikes it. That's exactly what he does now. Sends it in, and again Clooney are into the field, putting the hurleys back up to the rise to shade it from the stone. Denny Russell, it's a high ball from way out the field, and again there's very little doubt about it as the umpires come line 3 or 4 metres in on the far side of the field, facing into the terracing stand, into the town goal here. Chips this one in, and the umpire racing out here, raising the... Peter Duggan is there in support, gets it out to the far side of the field. That's a brilliant ball out to Donald O'Sullivan, back to Peter Duggan, and sent it over the bar. Great vision from Donald O'Sullivan. Cahill is out there still trying to come away with it. His own O'Brien popping the ball into his hand. He has the opportunity. He's a long way out. How are you? Straight over the bar from the stick. Half minutes gone. Comments or compliments of Liam O'Doherty builders in Ennis. Peter Duggan about to strike this one, and once again you could put your house on it as he sends it over the bar.
Ball bobbling around, and who else? Only Mark Rogers, just flicking the ball along the ground, the same as you'd roll a putt on a green in the golf course. Rolled it into an empty net. Sides level once again.
And tries to set up the attack. Down it goes to Daniel Russell right in the corner, waiting for it, gets it into his hands. Now turns back onto his left side, strikes this one in, and a typical Daniel Russell here as Joe Mullins waiting to move back here, and only Keith Hogan is inside in the goal all on his own, even though
just using his experience to try and turn over a few things, but Éire were quick on the ball.
For the Keith Hogan taking the ball right.
O'Donnell is playing really well. He needs more help though, because Clooney Quin are getting a better spread. Now Duggan has six points got, and Danny Russell has 5 points got, 4 frees and Duggan has 4 frees and 2 from play. But look, I must say some of the Clooney, Callum Hassett has been really impressive. Donald O'Sullivan has been impressive, and Owen O'Brien, if he got into another gear, he could really do something here. He seems to be going nice and easy, but a talented hurler. But looking back then, you see they're only playing 3 inside, but Aaron Fitzgerald starting to come into the game. Kieran Russell has his hands full. Jack Collins not doing much down the corner, he could be doing a lot more. And David McNamara, couple of balls that went down and he sent him in wrong. The difference between, I suppose, an elite player and a good player is really a lot of find the man inside, and sometimes other players don't. Decision making goes against. But Keith Hogan hit a few puck outs there that went wayward, and all them counted in. There's only 1 point in it.
I'm enjoying the battle in the middle of the field. David Reedy, Keane O'Dea, Ryan Taylor and Donald O'Sullivan. It's enjoyable because it's tactical. They're both on each other's shoulders during the game, so again one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and just going back to your own, we will play in the football every week, catch them, and I could catch them here because Clooney Quin is nearly all hurling that they do. So look, the middle of the field, Keane O'Dea is staying with Taylor, but Taylor is still doing a fair bit of hurling all the same. He'll stay with him. Reedy and Donogh O'Sullivan, that Donogh O'Sullivan's having a fine game, but Reedy is a class act as well. Look,
Absolutely.
It's all to play for in the second half.
Absolutely. Aaron Fitzgerald, the centre half back, he has picked up a few balls completely on his own. Maybe it is something that Clooney Quin needs to take a look at.
Yeah, because look, Clooney Quin are dropping a lot of players back, and you look, it always looks like there's 5 Éire lads to try. They're trying to move the ball at pace and bring it through the lines. Éire are trying to find their main man inside. But look, it's an intriguing battle. The next 10 minutes now in the first half is going to be, this is where it could be won and lost.
One of the things I often looked at, Sean, is that, a team gets a certain pattern, a certain players, they'll start in that same position all day long. But Kieran Russell coming out of the full-back position to pick up Peter Duggan, and it probably had to be done. But has it changed their rogue at the back that much?
Yeah, you'd always expect him because he is a fine full back now. But look, I suppose his horses for courses these days, he was the man they picked out in training, and that's who they were going to go because Duggan is very good in there. But Kieran Russell is sticking with him now. It's a good battle. Duggan hasn't done an enormous amount of hurling, but he's still causing problems.
The young boys and girls from Éire and from Clooney Quin are really, really decked out. There's no question about that. There's right down here to our right side. There must be half the parish of Clooney Quin arrives in Cusack Park because they're all inside the 20-metre line. There's some gathering. There are a couple moving out to the edge of the semicircle. And as we said, the only condition going with it is to wear the helmet. And that's exactly what they're doing as the sun begins to appear. Did you ever play in Cusack Park at that age, Sean?
Jeez, I didn't. I'm out the country. We didn't get many games in here, but sure, when we got here, we enjoyed them.
You certainly did back here. Owen O'Brien is he was a very, very great target man the last day. I thought he did tremendous work for Clooney Quin. You were looking for little bit more from him? Yeah,
because he has talent, but he just seems to be going. But gee, he got one of the points of the game, and that's in his locker. Like, he has 2 good sides. He's a big stature of a man, and he's a good lad to aim for puck outs as well. It doesn't all have to be to Duggan because he's good in there as well. Look, he's talented, but I still think he could push himself and get a small bit more out of himself.
Yes, and again, we spoke about it earlier on about the Éire half-back line. If you give him room, if you give him a space more than room, if you give them that option, they can very easily take a player like John Keneally out of the game by lobbing the ball either left or right or in over his head as well. And that's something. It's a great plus from Éire's point of view because John Keneally has he has the talent to dominate this game. And again, the little things like that could make an awful difference before this game is over.
Yeah, and John Keneally, and he scored a great point. But Éire with the ball have to use it a small bit better from their half-back line. There's no point hitting the aimless ball as well. It has to be into the space as well because Derek Keogh has gone back there, and now he does that mostly in matches anyway. It's not today or yesterday he's done this. He goes back a lot and he's picked up ball, and he's very good to distribute the ball as well.
Now, most likely everybody will be aware of what's happening in the other game in the group as well. The nearer we get to this, the more likely it is that the Rogue will have to pull out all the stops here because they'll have to get something from this game, and it's quite likely they'll need a victory.
Yeah, it looks like a Rogue. It looks like the last chance saloon from. But look, they've all to play for in the second half, and whatever bit of breeze is in it, we'll go with them as well. Free taking could be. Denny has missed 2 frees. Duggan hasn't missed a free yet. Free taking could be vital here in the second half.
A number of teams have found themselves in relegation. A number of teams have qualified for the knockout stages, but still that place at the top of the tables, is very important for most clubs.
Yeah, because you're a seeded team. Then look at. Éire Kilnamona today have got there, and after their shock the last still not motoring well. But there's some other teams. Look, the likes of Clare are gone. Very disappointing this year from them, the way they're going. But look at the other group then: Ballyea, Cratloe, the Mills, Clarecastle, Bradford. Everything to play for going into the last group games there. Whoever's going to stay up and whoever's going to go through. But look, the Bridge then marching on. The Bridge probably are most impressive team so far in it. But look, these 2 teams, I must say I am impressed with Clooney Quin now. The style they play a good style. They're trying to get the best man, the best position the whole time, and they're going to score from long range. That's the way they do. Unless Duggan moves inside, and they are doing that now and again. And if he does get one, he could snatch a goal. But Clooney Quin, you have to be impressed with him as well.
And not alone that, Sean, but they're introducing quite a number of young players.
Yeah, look, the future is good. As you said here, we were laughing down. Half the parish came with the young lads, but look, they have a huge amount of talent. I've watched them at underage now, and they have some very good players. And look, a lot of players are after coming through now, like Shane Harrison, Derek Keogh, John Keneally, Owen Gilfoyle, Evan Maxted was only, I'd say he's only out of minor. This is a big occasion for him as well. So they have a lot of talent coming through. If they keep them together for a couple of years, obviously they want to go along as far as they can and win it if they can this year. But the future looks bright for Clooney Quin.
Clooney Quin back onto the field here. If you are joining us at the moment, it's 10 points to 9. Clooney Quin are leading by that single point. Éire Kilnamona 21 points. Wolfstones 2-11. That was in the game prior to that, and the game in Six Mile Bridge in the same group. It was victory for Crusheen, 2 goals and 20 points to Smith O'Brien's 13 points, and Smith O'Brien's find themselves in 1 game away they're in a relegation battle at the moment. And as I said, the bottom 4 teams in each group will have a one-off game to decide who gets relegated, and that's, it's just 1-1. That's it. You win, you're in. You lose, you're back into the intermediate championship for 2023. Nobody thinking about that at the moment. Joe Mullins is down with his hands on his hips, waiting for Éire to emerge back onto the field here. Charlotte Donlan is doing right down here in front of us, waiting for that to resume. Again, instructions going out to the Clooney Quin men. As you said, they have been very impressive. They were absolutely superb, Sean, against Kilmaley. Kilmaley have a bit of, to pick up from a game like that, will be huge, and they have the game in Dr. Daly Park, and again Scariff will make life very difficult for them there. Again, it's 1-10 apiece over there. We'll be keeping a very close eye on it, but again, it's a cauldron from a Kilmaley Scariff point of view in Dr. Daly Park.
Yeah, I'd say Kilmaley would sooner be in here now, but Tulla is a super facility now, and the pitch is very good, but when you're playing in here, it's probably different. So Scariff, I say, are delighted to have that game out in Tulla. Look, and as we were talking there's a lot of great battles to come now later on. Even the relegation, them matches will be serious matches. But look, I think the championship is just about to take off after tonight, when all the ratifications are done and who's through and who's not through. Here are Éire back out now,
and they're led out there by Liam Curry out to the far side of the field, trying to get that ball, waiting for it. We're looking around the changes. We'll keep a very, very close eye. Mikey Maloney is back out. All the players that left the field are back out again. Mikey is wearing 22, but he started the game as well. We've the same pairing in the middle of the field of David Reedy, Keane O'Dea, Ryan Taylor and Donald O'Sullivan. We've Joe Mullins with his hands on his hips waiting for this one. Your commentary is compliments of Liam O'Doherty builders here in Ennis as well. Looking around here, everybody back in there. Matty Shannon is back down here to our left hand side, and Tommy Corbett to our right. 10-9, Clooney Quin leads. Second half about to start here in round 4 of the Senior Hurling Championship. We'll be keeping the places going back. I can see already that Derek Keogh has gone back into a sweeping role right in front of Shane O'Donnell, and that's even before the game starts. But again, the referee Joe Mudd is indicating go back to your own half of the field. You can do what you like then when the ball is thrown in, and that's exactly what he'll do. Exactly. Ball is in, and it's out to David Reedy on the attack for Éire, racing through the centre looking for support. Ball goes to the ground, it comes bang, it's picked up inside by Darren O'Brien. Darren O'Brien moving back, David McNamara right outside him, looking across. He looks up right from one side of the field, finds Gavin Cooney. What a ball. Gavin Cooney putting the ball to the stick, heading for the corner flag, and Conor Grogan is heading for Gavin Cooney. He's still holding on to it, turning back into the centre, being pulled back, and he played exactly for the free, and that's exactly what he got, right on the 20-metre line. Early attack with 30 seconds on the clock here is going to be a free in for Danny Russell and for Éire, and you kind of get the intention that this could possibly level the sides here in Parkisog as the breeze beginning to pick up ever so slightly here, but it's all eyes on Danny Russell just outside the 20-metre line to the left of the goal as we look at it. And once again Keith Hogan all on his own between the posts as the umpires just moving back left and right. No need, right over the black spot from the stick of Danny Russell. Sides level in Cusack Park with 1 minute gone in the second half.
Yeah, cheap free to give away there, because there was no danger there at all, and Gavin Cooney always has to turn inside onto his good side, so it was a cheap free and a cheap score to give away.
It's out to Conor Grogan trying to get out, coming out with the ball is John Keneally. Will he get room to strike it? Hooked at the last moment, now trying to move the ball, just gets the one hand into the centre, trying to get that ball away, now coming out trying to move that ball across to the far side of the field, picked up. Evan Maxton is out there trying to, the ball is stalemate, very very close to the ground. Who'll get their hands on this one? Mikey Maloney waiting for the ball, soccer style out from David Reedy. He's still looking for the hurley, he's still trying to get into his hand out to the far side of the field. Now the ball breaks to Peter Duggan goes to the ground, picked up by Kieran Russell, back to Gavin Cooney. That's a brilliant ball right in the goal side to David McNamara. Can he get control of it back into his hand? He can. He strikes this one, very tidy angle, sends this one in, and David McNamara sends it in, sends it over the bar, and Éire go into the lead here, 11 points to 10 with 2 minutes gone, Sean.
Yeah, a great start to the second half here. Gavin Cooney has got on 2 possessions now, and he's made the 2 scores.
Again, the puck out comes to this side of the field, up they go for it. Kieran Russell and Peter Duggan, ball going to the ground, and again the referee indicating, calling play over Peter Duggan. The helmet just coming off his head at the moment as he looks around. Again, Joe Mullins going across to the far side. It looked like that ball came right in. There's water bottles flying in left and right onto the field at the moment. And again, Jarlath Donlan, again the linesman is down there. Joe Mullins is having a word with him, and it looked like possibly maybe the ball was dropping down, maybe it was the stick of the direction of Kieran Russell's hurley, maybe it came right in. Let's see what's going to happen here. Again, he's having a word with David Reedy at the moment as well, and let's see what's going on. He's looking around here. Again, Joe Mullins just indicating it's going to be a free in at the moment. It's going to be a free in for Peter Duggan, and again Kieran Russell just looking back there to know, how did you figure out that could be a free in? Peter Duggan is the man that's going to take it. He's the man that was fouled. He's on 6 so far as he lines up to take this one. It's going to be Peter Duggan.
It was a harmless free, no, I think so, but he paid for it and he got it.
Absolutely did, but it's going to be Peter Duggan standing over this one at the moment, and Kieran Russell right in front of him. Peter Duggan high, and Peter Duggan, as you would expect, straight over the bar as he looks out here to the sideline. It's looking down here to the left. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's 11 apiece. Ball comes back out to Jarlath Collins, racing over it, half hooked as the ball comes into the middle of the field to David Reedy. David Reedy looking around, gets the ball across, but it bypasses Owen Cahill. Now he's picked up inside by Owen O'Brien, looking around here, whips the ball across from one side to the other into the centre goal. Peter Duggan just got enough room, this time over the right shoulder, comes off the post, falls into play. Ulick O'Sullivan running onto this one. It's about to be challenged again, looking across to the far side. Again, the Aaron Fitzgerald back there, defending, going to the ground, trying to kick the ball in. Philly watching, and now it's a goal. It's Peter Duggan that arrived. The ball was rolling across the goal. There was a gathering of players waiting. Peter Duggan waited for the ball to come out into the open and planted the ball into the back of the net. 1-11 for Clooney Quin. Éire 11 points. 4 minutes gone in the second half. It's all happening in the opening 4 minutes, Sean.
Yeah, that was goalkeeper said that it was a poor decision by him, but Jarlath Collins got the ball first and he got the short pass, and he didn't make use of it properly, and that's where the goal came from. And
it's a brilliant score from Owen Cahill from just inside his own half, the 65-metre line from way out the field, lending it over the bar. It's now 2 between them. 1-11 for Clooney Quin, 12 points for Éire, coming up to 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes gone in the second half. The puck out is long out by Keith Hogan, out to this side of the field, dropping ball, now controlled by Peter Duggan, going back, but David Reedy is tidying up, moves the ball to Aaron Fitzgerald. Aaron Fitzgerald again looking up, drilling the ball right through the centre, up to Shane O'Donnell. Shane O'Donnell going to the ground, Shane McNamara on him. Donachio is out there as well, trying to get control of it, and again the referee is indicating it's going to be a free in for Éire, and well, it's a free in, Sean, but I mean, in fairness to Donal O'Sullivan, there was very little you could do. Shane O'Donnell was at full stretch. It's going to be a free in. We leave it back to Joe Mullins. It's going to be Denny Russell that'll take it. There's 2 between them with 5.5 minutes gone. It's an opportunity one to cut the deficit back to a single point here as Denny Russell placing this ball. Joe Mullins looking around here at the moment, but he's going to stand still. He's going to stand right on the spot at the moment. He's like a man that's he's not. He's going to, it looks like a man that was going to wave a card. Now we'll keep an eye on Denny Russell back down here to our left hand side as he strikes into the town goal here in Parkisog. Denny Russell, 2 between them at the moment. Clooney Quin leading 1-11 to 12. Will Denny Russell change that? You could nearly almost put your banker on it as he sends the ball straight over the bar. There's 1 between them. Clooney Clooney Quin won 12 at Rogue, 13 points. I won 11, 13 points. The scoreboard has gone haywire at the other end of the field. There's going to be changes on the Clooney Quin side. Shane Harrison is coming off, and Dylan Cunningham is the man that's coming on.
And that free down the corner, I don't know what he was supposed to do. Derek Yo came out there. I didn't think he fouled. I think he done everything right, and it was probably a cheap free, a handy free arrow got there to get that score back to 1.
I often ask myself the same question: what was a player like that supposed to do? Let's see what happens. We'll go back to Keith Hogan getting ready again. The referee having a word with Peter Duggan, and right down here in front of us at the moment. And again, just issuing Joe Mullins is going, looks like a man. He's writing the name into the book here, and again waving the play away, looking for that one. It's a yellow card for Peter Duggan, and again the referee Joe Mullins just taking his time before the puck out is allowed from the other end of the field. It's going to Keith Hogan, and he's still waiting for instructions at the other. Now it's about the protest. It's a long ball dropping down here between Kieran Russell and Peter Duggan. Up they go for both players going to the ground, and again it's going to be a free for a Rogue. Again, players moving away to this side of the field. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be David Reedy that's lining up to take this one, moving it across, and again moving away. David Russell is going to leave it to Daniel Russell. It's going to be hugely entertaining here, I think, here in the park. 7.5 minutes gone here in the second half. David Reedy will land this one in around the 20-metre line here at the moment, trying to get that ball away, waiting for it. And again, referee has been called here with Charlotte Dallin back here on the sideline at the moment, and again players moving away to our left hand side. Sean
Owen Gilfoyle, I'd say, could be in a bit of trouble there, because I'd say he's looking for him, but Peter Duggan would want to come back into game mode again and just forget the shenanigans, because he's on a yellow and anything could happen. This man could get a yellow.
Yeah, well, let's see. Again, there's players going left to right. We're still waiting for David Reedy to take the free. Down here, Peter Duggan is still having words with Janet Dundon on the sideline. Kieran Russell is one very, very experienced man, let me tell you, inside the 4 lines of a playing field, so he's not going to get carried away in any shape or form. We're still waiting for it. Maybe we have the opportunity, Derek, if we could go to Dr. Daly Park to give us an update on what's happening in Kilmaley and Scariff.
Yeah, just 5 minutes gone in the second half here. Still in Kilmaley are edging in front. 112 to 111 is how it stands. Mark Rogers opened the scoring with a free. Mikey O'Malley replied to level the sides for the 9th time in this game. But just a couple of moments ago, Cathal Darcy breaking from the Kilmaley half-back line, sending over a brilliant score off his Kitog to give them the lead, 112 to 111. Kilmaley, though, those wides are starting to rack up. They're heading towards double figures now. They might come to regret them, but at the minute they have the whip hand by the absolute minimum. 112 to 111, 5 minutes gone second half.
It's the minimum here as well in this Clooney Quin. They hold the upper hand by a single point, but it's the Rogue on the attack up along the line. There's a brilliant ball up to Gavin Cooney. Gavin Cooney from way out the field. It's a long ball. It's dropping in. It's a superb score from Gavin Cooney. What a great build up, planting the ball straight over the bar from the 65 on the sideline. 9 minutes gone, Sean. It's deadlocked at 111 to 14 points.
Reedy is starting to show his experience now. He brought that ball and gave a great ball up, and a great ball to Gavin Cooney and straight over the bar.
Long ball again between the Peter Duggan. Kieran Russell shows down there. Great work, Peter Duggan getting it across. Callum Hassel is into the centre, and again he'll pop this one straight over the bar. And Clooney Quin once again going into the lead here. It's Clooney Quin, 1 goal and 12 points, a Rogue 14.
That's 3 points now for Callum Hassel on the wing, but Duggan made a great catch and pass.
Puck out to the far side of the field. It's going to be picked up inside by Darren O'Brien, running onto it, popping the ball back into his hand at the moment, coming across, looking for support. Out there is David McNamara trying to move the ball across to the far side. Mike McNamara is out there as well, but again coming away with it is Owen O'Brien into the centre. He's been challenged. Niall McMahon running onto that ball on the far side, trying to move it away. Niall McMahon again is going to get the second opportunity, gets it back to Warren Cahill. Warren Cahill looks around, into the centre it goes, and against to Liam Corrie. Liam Corrie whipping the ball over to the corner. Mikey Maloney is out there, but he's been challenged out there by Conor Grogan, trying to come over with that ball, going to the ground once again on the far side of the field. Also out there trying to move the way is Owen Gilfoyle. Again there's an attack at the other end of the field. The Rogue still holding tough, but again coming over with that ball brilliantly, and the Clooney Quin defending like tigers at the other end of the field, trying to move the ball back. Tremendous work there at the back on the far side of the field. Now it's moved up by Evan Maxted across to the far side of the field. It was Donachio who was back in the full back line there a few moments ago, but it's Aaron Fitzgerald on the attack. He goes to the ground, gets the ball very close to the line, and it's going to be a line ball for Clooney Quin on the far side of the field. The substitutes were coming onto the side. Aidan McGrath is coming onto the Rogue side at the moment, and coming off is going to be Niall McMahon. 1 goal and 12 points for Clooney Quin. Rogue 14 points, 11 minutes gone in the second half, Sean.
I think Clooney have retreated a small bit now because they're hitting balls, and Aaron Fitzgerald has picked up the last 2 balls all on his own. Like, they have to vary the play a small bit now, get back into their rhythm that they were in the first half.
Again, line ball on the far side. Peter Duggan about to strike this one. Again, it's sailing in, it's going in, but it's going across the goal, and it goes to the right and wide. 1 between them, Clooney Quin. But again, looking out, the puck out is fast. It's out to Gavin Cooney, sending the dummy out here to Conor Grogan, still holding on to the ball. He's still going with it. Still trying. Mikey Maloney is on his right hand side, but he's still sailing into it, looking for support. Back out to Shane O'Donnell, and Shane O'Donnell, as cool as they come, looking in,
Great
popping
score.
it over the bar. What a score that was. Great work, Gavin Cooney. Superb finish from Shane O'Donnell. It's level again. 112 Clooney Quin,
Gavin
15
Cooney
points.
he's putting in the last 10 minutes. He's put in serious work in this 10 minutes of the second half.
Again, they're deadlocked. Keith Hogan with the puck out. Commentary compliments of Liam O'Doherty Builders out to the far side of the field. Once again, Kieran Russell trying to come away with that ball, battling away close to the line, releases the ball just in time, ends up on the sideline, and again he's been challenged by John Keneally. John Keneally with a long dangerous ball into the edge of the square, ball breaking out. Keane O'Dea is back in there. Aaron Fitzgerald looking for the ball, but again the ball coming out. Aidan McGrath back there to the far side of the field. Charlotte Collins trying to come out to the far side, again releasing it. Oran Cahill doing tremendous work, goes back to Aaron Fitzgerald, back to Keane O'Dea. Keane O'Dea has a chance to look up, tries to get it back to Aaron Fitzgerald, and again being challenged out here, whips the ball out to this side of the field, out to Aidan McGrath, just into juice, taking the ball on, challenging Owen O'Brien, coming up along the field, winning the ball, winning the free, and it's going to be a free for a Rogue, and David Reedy is in a hurry, no doubt about that. 112 for Clooney Quin, 15 points for a Rogue, 13 minutes gone here in the second half. David Reedy with his long free, heading for the corner on the far side, up goes Shane O'Donnell, ball goes right behind, and it's going to go out to Derek Yo. He's going to tidy up, and Derek Yo down along the line into the hands it goes of Shane McNamara. Shane McNamara whipping the ball into the centre. Taven Maxted, he in turn gets it back out to Mike McNamara, looking around here. 112 to 15 points. It's a level in Cusick Park to the far side of the field, picked up inside by Ulick O'Sullivan. Ulick O'Sullivan still has a bit of work to do, but he's still holding on to the ball. He's still being challenged out there. He's still going through, trying to get inside Jarlath Collins. There's 4 Rogue men around him, gets it out to Callum Hassel. Ball goes back to the ground, tries to get a second opportunity. Liam Curry is there, but it's Aaron Fitz that tidies up out to Warren Cahill. Rogue on the attack, looking around here. They're level pegging here in the park. 112 to 15, and again trying to go again. Warren Cahill moving the ball into traffic out to the far side of the field, but it comes out to Evan Maxted, racing through the centre for Clooney Quin, strikes the ball off his shoulder, ball dropping right in. Philly Walsh going up for ball, coming off the post, right in front of the goal. Ulrich O'Sullivan is there, Keane O'Dea is there, and he kicks the ball out of danger, heading out to the far side of the field, looking around here, about to strike it. He does, delivers the ball up. It's going to bounce in front of David McNamara. He runs onto it. Mike McNamara's on his shoulders. David McNamara, a Rogue from way out the field. It's high, it's dropping in. That is superb. The ball goes to the right and wide. I was about to say that was the superb score. It wasn't. It went to the right and wide. Clooney Quin 112, a Rogue 15 points, 14 and a half minutes gone, Sean, second half.
And the tactic of putting Shane Taylor in, I think, is backfiring on Clooney Quin. I think they need him back out the field again. They do this in games, but he needs to be out the middle of the field dictating things. I know if he gets a ball, he'll score, but he isn't getting the ball in there.
A ball coming out to the far side of the field. It's out to Mike McNamara. Ball into the centre. Trying David back there, trying to facing his own goal is Jarlath Collins. He gets the ball into his hand. Looks for support. Kieran Russell is there. Challenged by Peter Duggan. Releases the ball to Aaron Fitzgerald. Aaron Fitzgerald. Ryan Taylor gets that ball inside. Ryan Taylor going right through the centre. He's about to strike it. He does, and he sends it over the bar. 2 Rogue men on the ground at the moment. Shane Taylor was the man that picked up that, or Ryan Taylor was the man that picked that ball up, popped it over the bar, and again 2 Rogue men gone to the ground. Maybe that gives us the chance to go to Dr. Daly Park for an update from Derek.
42 minutes gone in this game still, and it's Scariff in front by 114 to 113. Mark Rogers absolutely leading the way up front for Scariff. Another 2 points on the board for him, but this Shane Kavanagh at wing back, maybe Sean Doyle there being a little bit closer to Scariff than you or I might tell us a little bit more about him, but he has 3 points from play wearing number 7. He's having a simply outstanding game in a brilliant half back line for Scariff, and if you stay with us just for the moment, Mark Rogers has gone for goal short, and it's just dropped. It was was a free he won himself. Conor Cleary had no choice but to take him down. Mark had a free in the 21 metre line, looked like he was going to tap it over. He tried to take everybody by surprise, including me, and just couldn't get it past the Kilmaley defence, though. It stays Scariff 114, Kilmaley 1 goal and 13. Kilmaley have won a free on their own 65. No doubt Mikey O'Malley will back himself. 43 on the clock, it's still Scariff by 1 cell.
It didn't easy surprise you, Derek, I can tell you. 16 minutes gone here. What a humdinger on the group. There's the permutations that are evolving here from these current situation. Well worth looking at. Out to Gavin Cooney. He's been superb in this second half. Sends the ball straight over the bar, and their row go right in. It's deadlock once again. 113 to 16 points with 16 and a half minutes gone. It's level pegging again, Sean.
Éire winning the battles around the middle of the field now. Gavin Cooney's picking up a lot of I don't think positions are really making any. They're all over the place here.
Dylan Cunningham coming onto that ball from way out the field. This one is going to drop to the edge of the square. Philly Walsh comes out, takes control of it, out to Aaron Fitz. Aaron Fitzgerald has a bit of work to do to Liam Curry. Liam Curry putting the ball on the stick, looking up along to the far side, out to David McNamara. David McNamara whipping the ball across the field. Again decides to go direct, but anywhere but there, says you, with Derek Yo all on his own for Clooney Quin, getting the ball up. But Shane O'Donnell blocking down the pass, whipping it into the centre to David Reedy. David Reedy still going through. He's still going through. He's on the 20 metre line. He's across to the far side, a shot, and the ball going
Great
wide.
Save.
What a save from Keith Hogan. It fell into the hands of Darren O'Brien, and again Keith Hogan coming out and escorting the ball out for a 65. Golden opportunity for a rogue, but it results in a 65 for Daniel Russell.
That's the importance of a good keeper. He's very brave there, came out. It possibly should have been a goal. If he hit it to the ground, it probably was a goal, but look, you only have a split second out in the middle of the field, but Rogue are really thundering into the game now.
It's going to be Daniel Russell once again to place this ball on the 65 metre line. It's Clooney Quin 113. It's a Rogue 16 points. There's almost 18 minutes gone here in the second half. It's deadlocked, and will it stay that way over the next 10 seconds when Daniel Russell with the 65 sends it in? Never a doubt in our minds as he sends it over the bar. A Rogue go back into the lead here, and again 17 points to Clooney Quin's 1 goal and 13. We're looking at the table, but that's only confusing because it ebbs and flows right throughout the second half here. And again it's back to Gavin Cooney. Gavin Cooney getting it into the centre. Back over goes to Liam Curry, trying to get control of the ball. It goes back to the ground, being challenged out the other side. Evan Maxted trying to come up with the ball. Back into the centre goes to David McNamara. He's denting around, he's looking for support. He looks up, he finds David Reedy. David Reedy pipping the ball into the corner. Back it goes to the far side of the field, picked up by Darren O'Brien. Darren O'Brien still trying to get inside here. He's pulled to the ground, and it's going to be a free in for a Rogue once again on the 20 metre line. Darren O'Brien creating a bit of havoc. Great work from David McNamara on the far side of the field. And sometimes, Sean, you know, you look at players maybe with a little bit lower profile than others, but David McNamara there, Darren O'Brien combining to set up yet another opportunity of a scoring free for a Rogue.
David McNamara, you see the work off the ball. Like, you don't see that. Many people just see the scorers and the big game players, but he's really working off the ball. And as I said about a few minutes ago, Gavin Cooney has burst into the game. He has given 19 minutes. If he can keep this up, the Rogue are in with a fierce shout here. They're really playing well now with 10 minutes left.
Darren O'Brien just receiving treatment down here to our left hand side. Will there be changes on the Rogue side? Again looking down under us at the moment. We'll wait for Daniel Russell. He's the man that's going to take the free, dead straight in front of us here, placing the ball, and thankfully Darren O'Brien has the helmet back on. He's ready for action. Now we'll watch as Daniel Russell placing this ball dead straight, practically dead straight in front of the goal here. The Blacks ball right in front of him as we look at our eye line here from the commentary box. Daniel Russell strikes it, and Daniel Russell sends the ball straight over the bar once again. A Rogue go into a 2-point lead here. It's a Rogue 18 points. Clooney Quin 113. Exactly 10 minutes plus additional time left in this game.
Keane O'Dea is not leaving Ryan Taylor here everywhere he goes.
Again, the poke out comes right down here to right down the centre. Goes once again up they go for Peter Duggan and Kieran Russell. It's been a royal battle down there. Keane O'Dea comes over it. He's on his knees and now he's been flattened to the ground. He has won the free. Good work, Jarlath Collins. He's the man that was fouled, trying to get that ball away. Keane O'Dea going back to keep an eye on Ryan Taylor at the moment. David Reedy is inside his own 45 a metre line here, moving
Looks
up.
like Danny Russell is coming back to take it.
Yeah, Daniel Russell, I suppose he will have the distance. There's no no question about it. He's a fantastic strike of a ball, and it's I suppose you could nearly say Sean is nearly dead centre of the field, so this will be interesting. Right inside, right on the edge of the square. Derek Hugh is just in front of Keith Hogan at the moment. Now he's even closer. David McNamara to the right hand side, trying to keep an eye on him on the far side of the field. Let's see what happens. Danny Rust on his own 45 metre line. It's high, it's dropping in. Is they going to tail in? The ball goes to the right of the goal. He could nearly have struck that from his own 20 metre line. Well beyond the goals at the moment, but it's still a rogue 18 points. The Clooney Quins 113.
Clooney Quin have kind of lost the run of themselves in the last few minutes. Find their fierce hard to gain possession.
Again, the ball dropping down here. Gavin Cooney just comes off his boot out over the line. It's going to be a Clooney Quin ball down here to our right hand side, and Peter Duggan is the man that's coming out to take it. Ryan Taylor is on the ball at the moment, looking around here, and he takes it out here to this side of the field to John Keneally. John Keneally looking around here, dancing into the centre, whips the ball across to the far side of the field, but again blocked down the side was Evan Maxted, and the Éire win the ball back. Mikey Maloney running onto it, trying to get that ball away. Into the centre it goes. David McNamara back out to Gavin Cooney. Gavin Cooney shortens the grip on the stick, and he whipped this one into play. The ball goes right across the goal, and it goes wide. 22 minutes, 8 minutes left in the game. There's 2 points between them. It's a Rogue leading 113 to 18 points for the Rogue men at the moment. Coming away with this one, still down in the middle of the field. Coming away with it, Sean.
That could have been a costly mistake there by Evan Max, that he just threw it up. He delayed too long, but that's experience. That will come with experience. He's a young player.
Again, we're waiting for Keith Hogan. Back to the goal on our left hand side. We'll be going back to Dr. Daly Park just after the next break and play for the, again, ebbed and flowing in the park as well. Out to the far side of the field. Ryan Taylor trying to get it into his hands, but again going to the ground right down here in front of us at the moment, and it's going to be a free for a Rogue. And down here outside is Jarlath Collins. Jarlath Collins again pulled to the ground there. It's going to be a free. David Reedy is most likely the man that's going to take it right on the 65 metre line here. Again looking around here, he's going to take it fast up along the line. Again the referee indicating to move back from the ball here, and again just looking down here on the sideline, activity on the sideline as well, trying to get that ball away. Now we'll come back to David Reedy on his own 65 metre line, no more than a metre right under us here in the commentary box, so most likely we'll land this one possibly in around the house. Let's see what's going to happen. Danny Russell to our left hand side, keeping an eye on him will be Owen Guilfoyle as well. There could be changes on the Clooney Quin side. Looks like Ronan O'Donnell might be ready for action. Down on the starting 15, 13 on his back is going to be David Reedy, about to strike this one. It's high from out the field. It's going to tail to the right hand side. He sends this one in. He does not. He sends it straight over the bar. What a strike from David Reedy. He was right on the sideline on his own 65, Sean, and great now Éire going into a 3-point lead.
I think they need to bring Duggan back out. They've no one to win the ball in the half-hour line.
Ball dropping in the half-forward line. Oran Cahill is trying to win that ball on the far side of the field, still trying to move that ball, trying to get it away to the far side. Jarlath Collins back, he has support, he gets it from Aaron Fitzgerald. Aaron again being challenged out there, goes to the ground, is Peter Duggan, ball on the ground, there's a chip right into the hands of David Reedy, trying to move the ball across to the far side. Keane O'Deed takes control of it, back again of course to David Reedy, up along the line here, superb in the second half. It's a long ball into the zone, it goes, it's Shane O'Donnell, he's on the ball, he's also on the ground now, he gets up, he's looking for support, he out to the far side of the field, ball going right across the goal, right in front of the goal, trying to get away to the far side is Darren O'Brien, but again it goes back. Evan Maxted is back there trying to come over with Shane McNamara. He goes to the ground, whips the ball away to the far side, back to Keith Hogan. Keith Hogan looking around, 19 points for Éire, 1 goal and 13 for Clooney Quin. There's 5.5 minutes left in this plus additional time. Ball come back to Owen O'Brien, Owen O'Brien to Peter Duggan, long ball to the corner, Peter Duggan getting it into his hand, Aaron Fitzgerald in front of him, takes the challenge, looks around here, he goes back, he tries to strike it, he gets the ball in, and the ball goes to the left of the goal and it goes wide. Substitutions coming on. We'll go to Dr. Daly Park until an update from Derek.
8 minutes to go here. Kilmaley leading by 116 to 114. No score in the last 10 or so minutes for Scariff ever since Mark Rogers deceived everybody with that free rather than tapping it over, win for the goal, and it's 4 points in a row then since for Kilmaley. Mikey O'Malley has taken taken this game by the scruff of the neck. He's got 3 of those 4 points, along with a brilliant score as well for Sean O'Loughlin. The battle of Mark Rogers and Conor Cleary has been immense here. Cleary has just sat back on him in this second half, hasn't given him a sniff. He's finding it very, very difficult to find any bit of space at all. And as I say that, with 52 minutes on the clock, Mikey O'Malley has popped over another free. There's now 3 points between the sides. It's 117 to 114. This game is quickly slipping away from the Scariff men. They were right in it for the 3 quarters. They're going to need Mark Rogers to provide some bit of magic, but with the sizable frame of Conor Cleary sitting down on top of himself, very hard to see how he'll do that.
Absolutely. Well, all the most reason why a Rogue have to win this game here in Cusack Park. We'll have the table for you at the end of this at the moment, so it's all to play for with both sides. It's David Reedy out there trying to line up to take this one. He's just outside the Clooney Quin's 65 metre line. 19 points for a Rogue. Clooney Quin 1 goal and 13. 4 minutes plus additional time left as David Reedy standing over this one on the far side of the field. Again, looking in around the house. Keith Hogan most likely will be the nearest man to this one by the time it lands. It'll possibly land behind him. It'll definitely do that. What's the direction like? It's absolutely perfect from David Reedy. Sending it over the bar. A Rogue right now lead by 4, Sean.
Yeah, two scores. That 4 points up now. Clooney Quin they probably need a goal now at this stage. Come back. There's nearly 27 minutes gone.
Donal Sullivan is coming off the Clooney Quin side. Coming on is Luke Harrison. There's 4 between them. A Rogue need to win this one to stay in the championship. It's a long ball out to this side of the field. Once again up to go for. Ball falls to the ground. Again being challenged out the other side. Conor Grogan coming on to Gavin Cooney is out there as well. And again it's looking out to the far side of the field, waiting for it. A referee, it looks like it's going to be a throw ball, I would imagine. Charlotte Donlan not quite sure what way this one went. It's possibly going to be a throw ball. Again, Peter Duggan is going to play this ball. Now he's looking for it, and again it's going to be a throw ball right down here in 13 metres in from the sideline. In the ball goes out to this side of the field. Coming onto that ball, running onto it is Mikey Maloney, but he's been challenged out there trying to win the ball back and winning it back to the far side. Mike McNamara is there, and again it's going to be a line ball, no question about this one. Clooney Quin direction. Matty Shannon is down on the sideline. 20 points a Rogue, 113 for Clooney Quin. 2.5 minutes left here, and if a Rogue win, Sean, I'm almost certain they'll be in to the quarter final of the Hurling Championship, and that would also mean that Kilmaley could possibly be out. We'll leave it until we see what happens going forward. Out to the far side of the field is going to be Peter Duggan lining up to take this one. Again moving across, waiting for it, whipping it into the centre, but into Owen O'Brien, but he's been challenged aside by Oran Cahill. Oran Cahill going to the ground, trying to get that ball away. Who'll come out with this one? How crucial will it be? Is David McNamara almost getting his hands in it, but now it comes back to Peter Duggan, about to strike it, blocked down by David McNamara. Brilliant with the man with 10 on his back, coming away with it, and the ball going out over the line ball, Clooney Quin.
That's doing selfish work, we said again, by David McNamara, but possibly it was a free to Duggan. He's getting fair treatment out there.
Again, it's going to be a line ball just almost in the dead centre of the field. Matty Shannon down here to our left, Tommy Corbett down to our right. Again, both Bannistows trying to line up to take this one. Peter Duggan lining up to take this one at the moment. There's in the Rogue man just down, just receiving treatment. It is David McNamara. Again, David McNamara down right on the field at the moment, looking around here. Peter Duggan waiting to see what's going to happen. It was 116 to 114 in Dr. Daly Park just a few moments ago. We'll just get a quick update as we're waiting for David McNamara to get back into the action, Derek.
We spoke about the need for a piece of magic, Sil, and it came just after you handed back Mark Rogers with an outstanding sideline ball from about 35 yards out on the right hand side of the pitch, striking in towards the dressing room end in Dr. Daly Park. Cuts it back to a 2-point game. It's 117 Kilmaley, 115 Scariff, but Garrod O'Grady's going right through on goal. Can he get a second? He has been fouled right on the 21 metre line, so this is going to be a free in. Mikey O'Malley should stick this over. It would put it back to a 3-point game once more. 56.5 is on the clock. As things stand still, it's getting fairly tidy. So what have we here? It's a 4-point lead for Éire. That will put them on to 4 points. Clooney Quin would be on 4 points. Kilmaley would be on 4 points, and it will come down then to the scoring difference, which we can't talk about till the full-time whistle blows.
Absolutely not. We have a fair idea of it at this side, but he's going back to Shane O'Donnell. He's looking around here once again, sending that one in and sending it over the bar from Shane O'Donnell. His composure on the ball is to be seen, to be believed. 21 points a row. Clooney Quin 113, 5 between them, and there's 4 minutes I think of additional time we saw down here under a Sean at the moment, so 4.5 minutes to go here in this game.
Gavin Cooney with another great ball into O'Donnell there. Clooney Quin need the next score big time.
Ball going back, Liam Curry tidying up, back to Aaron Fitzgerald. Aaron Fitzgerald about to strike it. It's a low ball into the centre. It's bouncing right in front, trying to come away with that ball back into his hand and moving with that ball. His own Gilfy gas to the centre, but it's Daniel Russell that does the robbery, pips the ball out to this side of the field, out to Kieran Russell. Kieran Russell taking on Peter Duggan. Into the centre goes to Shane O'Donnell. Shane O'Donnell putting up the hand, trying to get inside, whipped out, robbed inside there, but coming away with it is Derek Yo, whipping a ball into the centre, back to Kieran Russell. Kieran Russell turning into traffic, running in to the far side of the field, now getting it back out to the middle of the field to Darren O'Brien. Darren O'Brien turns, swings and sends the ball straight over the bar once again, and that is a huge score. It looks like there's going to be changes coming on to the Rogue side. Is going to be Owen Gilfoyle coming off as David McNamara. He's been absolutely brilliant, took a knock there in the last few moments. 22 points for a Rogue, 1 goal and 13 for Clooney Quin, and we're 31 minutes on the clock, Sean.
Yeah, Éire really thundered into the second half now. They're really, you'd know it was the last chance to do from, and they're fighting for every ball.
Again, it's going to be the puck out from Keith Hogan. This is a huge win for a Rogue. They have the holding on here right now. Up they go for it. Again, the ball is between Ryan Taylor and Keane O'Dea. Out to the far side of the field. It's back into the centre to Conor Grogan. Conor Grogan whipping through. Surrounded, fouled. And it's going to be a free in once again for Clooney Quin. It's going to be Peter Duggan. He's wondering what he has going to do with this one. And again, looking for this one out to the far side of the field. Trying to get that ball. He probably has to, looking at the clock, we're 2 minutes, that's including the additional time, about to strike this one. Surely, Sean, he might possibly drop it in around the house, although there's a lot of red jerseys in there, and no doubt about that. He's still moving back from the ball. Again, look at Kieran Russell standing right in front of him at the moment. Maybe he might try one of those dip frees and see what's going to happen.
It doesn't look like there's many Clooney players going in front of the square, so he doesn't have much. He's trying to push him in himself.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
it looks like he's going to take the score.
It looks like he has no choice but to take the score. I only see 2 green jerseys inside and about 8 red jerseys. He strikes the ball in. He sends the ball straight over the bar once again. And Clooney Quin again back. 22 points it is for a Rogue. 1 goal and 14. There's 5 between the sides, and we've 90 seconds of play left as the puck out from Philly Walsh is down here to our right hand side at the moment, getting ready for this one. It's a long ball to the far side of the field. Once again, it's dropping down, waiting for that breaking ball, and it comes out right into the hands. It goes to Dylan Cunningham. Cunningham running up along the line on the far side of the field, still holding on to the ball, being chased, still coming away with the ball. Ball breaks into the centre, trying to get that ball away. Clooney Quin in full attack to the far side of the field. In the ball goes inside to Donald Sullivan. Donald Sullivan trying to get that ball across, but it comes back to Philly Walsh. Philly Walsh looking around here, looking for support. No red jersey facing up to him, leaving the ball on the far side of the field, still trying to come away with it. Gets it back out to Owen O'Brien. Owen O'Brien trying to take on, being challenged by Liam Curry, back over to the far side of the field, still trying to get that ball, goes to the ground, challenged out there outside in the middle of the field by Owen Gilfoyle for a roll, but now it's Darren O'Brien coming away with Owen O'Brien coming away with that ball for Clooney Quin out to the far side, and again Ryan Taylor looking around here right on his shadow, whipping the ball in from way out the field. The ball is dropping in, goes right across the goal, and it goes to the right of the goal, and it goes wide. We're moments away from the final whistle here, Sean.
When you're winning, you seem to have more legs, and Clooney just seem to be running out of legs at this stage.
Well, of course, their Rogue had to win this game. There was no choice in that one, looking the way things were going in Dr. Daly Park. We'll see it to the end of this game, then we'll go to Derek about the final result in Dr. Daly Park. At the moment, it's Philly Walsh with the puck out for a Rogue. It's high, it's dropping down here to this side of the field once again, waiting for a Gavin Cooney goes up, ball goes right behind. Brilliant combination. Darren O'Brien taking the ball from Daniel Russell as the ball goes out over the line, and it's going to be a line ball for Clooney Quin. They're in a hurry to take it right down here, again moving away to this side of the field, and I would reckon right now the seconds away as we look out to Joe Mullins outside in the middle of the field, sending the ball right into the centre. The ball comes up and is picked up inside by John Keneally, trying to come away with it. John Keneally driving up to the middle of the field. It's going to be a free outside the 65 metre line. He'll land this one in around the house. Surely Peter Duggan will be in around the house for this one. He was going to come back to take the free, but at the moment there's nobody to take it. Let's see who is going to take it. It is going to be John and Gavin Clooney has decided he might take it going in the Clooney Quin direction, rolls the ball up. Now it's John Keneally with the free for Clooney Quin, about to strike this one, landed in around the house, very little choice on this one, up they go from it, the ball batted out to this side of the field trying to get it, again all eyes on Joe Mullins, Clooney Quin on the attack, hitting the ball back out to Ryan Taylor looking around here, challenged out the other side by Jarlath Collins, still coming through, takes the knock, takes the shot, ball is off, and the ball again calling the play back, looking at the 35 minutes on the clock, 22 points for Éire, 1 goal and 14, there's 5 between them. Éire still enjoying a 5-point lead here, and most likely will be enough to get him in to the quarter final of the Senior Hurling Championship along with Clooney Quin, but we'll wait to see what happens as well. And I think it's going to be Peter Duggan. He'll probably have very little choice at the moment, and I would reckon once this ball is cleared, if it's cleared, it'll be the final whistle here as he lines up to take this one. Can he find a spot inside in the Clooney Quin goal, in the Éire goal, as he strikes this one in, dips it in, the ball going in, going straight over the crossbar on the stick of Peter Duggan. Will the puck out possibly give us the end of the action? It will give us the end of the action as the referee Joe Mullins blows the final whistle here in Cusack Park. Let's go to Derek over in Dr. Daly Park to see how things have ended over there.
Well into injury time, and it's Kilmaley 120, Scariff 117. Joe Carmody is the latest to try and extend that lead. Can he do just that? He certainly does. His father was in the commentary box with us earlier. He's outside watching him in Tulla now. That makes it 121 to a 117. It's been a fantastic closing quarter from a Kilmaley perspective, but if my maths are up to scratch, it should be in vain, because it looks like they're going to finish third in the group if I'm not mistaken. Clooney Quin will top it, Éire will be in second. The full-time whistle has just gone, so 121 to 117, a 4-point victory for Kilmaley. That's Scariff finishing bottom of the group. Kilmaley going into the Senior B. Incredibly, the Clare Club champions have only lost 1 game in the group stages. They've won 2 of them, and it's not enough to see them through to the quarter-finals. They go into the Senior B. It'll be Clooney Quin to top the group, Éire going through in second place. Scariff will look back on that third quarter, a period where they were outscored 8 points to 2. Really was Mike O'Malley leading the charge for the Kilmaley men. Dara Keane with an outstanding score as well, and their captain Mikey O'Neill. 4-point victory for Kilmaley out in Dr. Daly Park in Tulla brings an end to a championship season for both sides. Kilmaley and Scariff still. Kilmaley win by 4.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, when you look at those 2 scores, just something popped into my head. I think the 2 Clare Cup finalists are out of the championship even before round 5 is over.
Yeah, it's probably very disappointing for Kilmaley. As I said, Clonera were poor this year through, but Kilmaley are an enigma. Like they can play so good some days and then play so bad other days. But look, they got 2 wins in the group, and they got well beat by Clooney Quin, which was a big shock. But look, what we're after seeing here this evening, still we saw 2 good teams go at it, but Éire wanted it probably that bit more. They were nearly going out at this stage, and look, they really fired into it in. And you have to give great credit at times there. Like Keane O'Dea probably didn't hit 2 balls in the match, but he said with Taylor through the whole game. But Shane O'Donnell was class. But I must say, Gavin Cooney, for the second half, for his second half display, really thundered into that game.
Absolutely. You know, you can talk about, but to be fair to Clooney Quin, there's no doubt about it, they were qualified. Éire absolutely needed this, and they really had to dig it out, and they did it in the second half.
Yeah, they did. They dug it out, and you know, Peter, I'd say finished up with 1-9 or 1-10 there in that game. He played well. No, he played well, but they were on his case the whole time. And look, Ryan Taylor probably faded out. I still like to see him out the middle of the field the whole time, because he's just he got great energy, he's got great pace, and I think Clooney needed him there for the last 15 minutes. But that's the way they play. Look, they'll go back Tuesday evening or whenever they're back training, back to the drawing board. They'll analyse this game and they'll see where it went wrong. But look, they got young lads are after getting serious experience. To play in games like that will only make them young lads better. And I think the future is good for Clooney Quin, but Éire deserve a lot of credit. Their backs played well. Kieran Russell, Aaron Fitzgerald picked up a lot of ball, and Liam Corey was really good. Philly Walsh in second goals had a few shaky moments there, but look, they're gone through now. They're in the quarter final of the championship, and that was the aim for them from day one.
There's 1 or 2 more interesting games left in this championship, of course, but at the moment you could look at it. We know an awful lot of where the tables are going to finish at the moment, and again, no matter which way you look at it, there's going to be huge quarter finals in this championship.
Yeah, as you said, now the group games are brilliant, but now the championship really takes off. Knockout is what everyone likes to see now and again, and look, when the draw comes, when all the teams, there's another round of it to go, look, everyone will be looking forward to the challenges, and we're all looking forward to, even this evening now, it was a very, very good game of hurling, but I'd say quarter-finals will even be bigger.
Absolutely, looking forward to those. And again, of course, the relegation battle will most likely take centre stage the next time in 2 weeks' time. That'll probably take centre stage, even though we know some of the teams that are going to end up in the relegation battle right now. We know that Scariff are going to be one of those sides, possibly Whitegate are going to be one of those sides as well.
And you have the big game coming up now between Clarecastle and Broadford. That is a real big game. Look at Crusheen. They were nearly getting relegated last year. They're not going down this year. And who the other team, Killaloo. Look, a lot of these Clare teams are there, but look, them relegation matches will be as good as any county finals.
Sean, I'm just making it up here, and it's not official, but I'm just looking here that the 8 teams left in the race for the Canon Hamilton would be looking like Éire Kilnamona, Wolf Tones, Clooney, Quin, Éire, possibly Cratloe, Ballyea, and the Bridge and Newmarket.
Yeah, Newmarket, Fecal have probably not a realistic chance. They have to win by nearly 27 or 8 points to go through. That's probably not. They're playing Whitegate in their last game, so it looks like Newmarket are going to sneak through there as well.
We'll wind up here in Cusick Park. His victory going to the Éire men down here to our left hand side as they warm down. A special word of thanks to Brian back at base, to Limo Doherty Builders here in Ennis for the very kind sponsorship right through the afternoon as well. Derek bringing us updates from Dr. Daly Park and on production as well, and of course to Sean on analysis. We look forward to a huge football weekend next weekend, but for now we're almost there in the placings of the quarter final of the Senior Hurling Championship. Much more about that later on, but from Parkis Oak, it ended on a scoreline of Éire 22 points, Clooney Quin 1 goal and 15. From everybody in Parkis Oak, it's bye bye for now.